A soldier thinks of important things to keep him going in battle. His fellow soldiers, his family, the letters. The contents of the letters published here have stayed true and consistent with the decorated 101st Airborne soldier who wrote them from 1943 to 1945 at the tender ages of 18 to 21. The letters are one of the best things we can do until our soldiers return home again. As time goes by, hopefully, a soldier's letters will be preserved and find a home, as our father's letters have found a final resting place in this book. I discovered that my father's best letters, written to his then sweetheart, Betty Lou, who later became his wife and our mother, to be filled with personal reflections of the war and written after the war ended and during his time in Austria with the occupation of the Germans, June to December 1945. May this book be a place where soldiers of yesterday, today, and tomorrow can reflect many of the same timeless sentiments from one soldier to another. My father will always be my hero. The older I get, I realize that he was the biggest influence in my life. It is with tremendous pride that I offer this collection of wartime letters to be shared with other children and their heroes of that great generation and those to follow. In memory of all the men and women who served to protect the United States with the following oath of enlistment, both in peacetime and wartime, to protect and maintain the liberty and freedom that our forefathers fought for, may we take this and every opportunity to say a special thank you to all our veterans. I do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me, according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Let us all take a moment and stand in silence for those who protect us and keep us from harm's way in the past, present, and future of this country.
Dear Betty Lou, today I just received a letter from you which was mailed the 8th of December. Even though it's been a month getting to me, I'm proud to get it, for it was a wonderful letter. You're still making mistakes on a typewriter though. Haha. I'm just kidding you. Just keep right on the job and someday you'll be a swell typist. I'm sorry I let you worry of my whereabouts as you mentioned in your letter, but golly, we were busy out there in California. It would have been all right if you had have wrote my father about me, for he knew where I was at. It would have been all right anyway, for Dad knows I write to you all of the time. I'll bet he would even know you if he met you on the street, for there is a painted enlarged picture of you at home on the radio. I'm sorry I didn't get this letter before Christmas, for you asked me what I wanted for Christmas. Well, I wouldn't have known anyway. And you did a wonderful job of selecting a gift. Say it was swell of you to buy that with your own money. I hope you still have your part-time job. Betty Lou, you asked me what shipped off meant. It means that we're on shipping orders and ready to be shipped off at any time of the day or night. You said your mother sent me a Christmas card. Tell her I said many, many thanks for thinking of me. I haven't received it as of yet, but I probably will, for I've been getting quite a bit of mail from Fresno lately, so I'm hoping to get it soon. I haven't received yours either, but even if I don't, I'll still know that you sent me one. Golly, I didn't know anyone read the letters I sent you, and as you say, your mother likes me just by the way I write. I thought I was very poor at writing. She must be a very nice person. I'm sure she is, and someday in the future I'd like to have the opportunity to meet her. I'll bet you're just the very picture of her, aren't you? I'm very sorry you lost a picture of me in my CCC uniform. The only one of those I have left isn't a large one, but in a few days I'll send one better, for I had my pictures taken today. I can't get the kind of work done that I wanted, though, but later on I'll have some more taken and send you a nice painting. I'm sending you a picture that was taken of me just before I left. I may have already sent you one, but I don't think so. I must close for today, so until I hear from you, which is very soon, I hope I remain, as ever, David. P.S. The sweetheart on the envelope doesn't hardly fit, I guess, but I have to send it to someone, and I think a lot of you, so I suppose it'll be all right. June 18th, 1944, in France. Darling, there isn't much I can say about this country. The countryside is covered with hedgerows, much the same as England, only the hedges are higher, and the fields are smaller. They have their small villages which seem rather nice, or rather, I should say, I imagine them to be. The people seem very glad that we're here, but my French not being very good, I can't understand but darn little. I've taken a few pictures, darling, of everyday life, some of me and my buddies and other things. My camera is a Kodak Bantam f8 40mm, so see if you can find any film for it. Love and kisses, David. June 20th, 1944, France. Hello, Moms. Busy over here in France. I suppose you've heard through the news broadcast or in the papers about what the troopers have been doing over here. Well, here's a list of news I'll bet you haven't heard that way. Our unit has been awarded the Presidential Citation for extraordinary service and heroism in performing our duties of June 6, 1944, something to be proud of. Well, Mom, live I must close for now. Give my love to Betty and kiss her once for me. I'll be back someday soon, and then I'll kiss her for myself. Love to all, David. June 21st, 1944, somewhere in France. My darling, well, hun, how are you doing today? Now I know that there's a devil of a question to ask, for I won't get an answer for weeks, but that's life. Darling, there isn't much I can tell you about my life here in France. I understand I can say I did jump into combat or France to you. I was in the rough of it for a while. That was one parachute ride I'll never forget. In fact, I should be able to write it to little David someday if I feel like it. Guess I'd better close my station for the night. Darling, don't forget to try and find me some film for my camera, Kodak f8 40mm. Good night for now. Love and kisses, David. June 24th, 1944, somewhere in France. My dearest darling, well, you're out of school now. Just how does it feel? Isn't it quite a relief? I'll bet it is. I think that if I ever get out of the Army, I'll find out. Maybe. I just had news from a church back home where I used to go that one of my best school chums has been killed in action. I sure hated to hear it. He was in the security police. So they're praising the paratroopers back home, are they? Well, I can say they deserve it and then some. Me, I'm satisfied with my life and body intact. I hope you're receiving my mail by now. Write as often as you can. Darling, keep that chin up. I'll be back someday. Forever yours, David. July 7th, 1944, France. My darling Lou, just a few words tonight. Sweetheart, I hope this finds you okay. I'm fine and in the best of health as yet. Right now I'm disgusted as hell. Boy, what a damn war this is. Oh well, you wouldn't understand. How's life in Gary? Fine, I hope. Say, darling, one of your letters I didn't quite understand. Something about you going out. For God's sake, you're free to do anything you want. There are no strings attached anywhere. You know that. If you try to stay at home all the time, you're going to miss out on a devil of a lot of fun. So go to it. I must close for now. Write when you can. Love and kisses, David. August 11th, 1944, England. Dearest darling, it's good to know you're almost well now, hon. Take care of yourself. How about your job? Have you gotten it as yet? Listen, my dear, just because you're a good girl, as you say, you still want to watch that weight, because I want you to, if nothing else. Glad to hear you finally received my letter saying I was in England. Darling, I don't know where to get my voice recorded, and besides, I never have time for anything like that. I suppose you'd have to go to London. You asked what I wanted for Christmas. Well, darling, I don't care as far as I'm concerned. I don't want anything but just get the hell out of here. Write soon. Love and kisses, David. December 30th, 1944, Belgium. My darling, just a few lines tonight before I take my shift on the radio. I go on from 10 till 1. It's now 6. Received a swell card from Virgie and Bob. Give them my thanks. Gee, they're a couple of swell kids, but then the whole darn family is as far as I'm concerned. It's snowing again tonight. No moon like there has been the past few nights, but still you can't complain because you can see pretty good. I guess you know just about where I am at, because I heard a news broadcast today and they spoke of my division. Had a news correspondent take my name, city and state yesterday. Had a couple of other things. Wasn't really made clear to me, at least I won't mention it just now. Later when I get the real dope on it. Must close for now. Write often, darling. A letter from you up here is worth more than anything else. All my love, David. December 31st, 1944, Belgium. My darling, the end of this year, instead of the usual celebration, I'm sitting up here in a snow-covered country, and it's still snowing. No mail from you for a couple of days now. Of course, I don't expect it, but it's something to look forward to. Just had a couple of shots of brandy that kind of warms you up. Really hits the spot up here, and no more than that doesn't hurt you. Sure hope those pictures hurry up and get here. Kind of hate to get them up here because I couldn't very well take care of them. God knows when those packages will get to me. By next Christmas, I guess. So long for now, darling. Right now or often. Say hello to the folks for me. All my love, David.
He's just a country boy, with a smile as bright as the rising sun. He's just a country boy, as tall and straight as he can be, with the strength and majesty of the great oak tree that stands ever watchful by the farm. He's just a country boy. His demands are very few: a wife, a farm, and children too. He must have at least one. A simple, honest country boy, to sow and reap and sow and be just a country boy.